What up, YouTube? Welcome down to the Man Cave in beautiful British Columbia, Canada. Welcome to our project known as RetroPie. The instructions can be found on the internet. Lots of people have done this. This is basically an 8-bit Nintendo shell. I bought a shell blank, but you can find an old 8-bit Nintendo game that you don't want anymore, tear it apart and do the exact same thing. And basically what we've done is we've used the world's smallest computer, which is this right here, known as a Raspberry Pi, and in it is a micro SD card. That runs the magic. And the beauty about this cartridge, it's not just one game, it's just not one system, it's a ton of systems. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Atari Lynx, Atari 2600, Nintendo 64, Sega CD, Sega Genesis. It goes on and on and on the list. It's all of these, all built in one little cartridge. I've even got a custom decal made that we haven't put on the front quite yet, but we will do that shortly. It's really easy to do this project, as long as you got some computer smarts. I don't know, I might even start building these and taking orders for Christmas, because I got about a dozen guys who want this. Now once the cartridge is built, there's not much in it. This here is your USB port. And the only reason you would need this is if you want to play 2 players simultaneously. So it gives you 3 USB slots. You got your controller, which is USB compatible, just plugs into here. And again, if you only wanted a 1 player, you wouldn't even need this. And here's an HDMI port, so it'll go to any television, and then here's your power port. And then of course, these are a series of adapters that make everything work. So once the system boots up, you're able to choose whatever system you want. Super Nintendo, Atari 2600, Sega Mega Drive, which is also Sega Genesis, or the Nintendo Entertainment System. Just going to get my son to demonstrate on the Super Nintendo. So he's going to select that. And I've only got a few games for the Super Nintendo as far as ROMs are concerned. But you can always add more with a USB stick. It is simple to do. So he's going to start with Super Punch-Out. And you're off and running. These emulators play beautifully. You'd never notice the difference if you were playing an emulator or the real deal.
Yay! Yay! Fight!
Just a list of items you'll need. You'll need a Raspberry Pi Zero starter kit, USB gamepad, micro SD card, I recommend 16 gigs or higher, a USB jumper drive as well, mini HDMI male to HDMI female cable, a 4-port USB mini hub. This is only necessary if you want to play 2 players. If you only want to play 1 player, you don't need the hub. Again, it's worth noting you can use any Nintendo cartridge. You know, if you got a crummy old game that you don't care about, you can tear the sucker apart and use this as your shell. But if you do that, know that Nintendo has these stupid security screws, and it requires a special kind of screwdriver to open it up. Or you could get a blank Nintendo cartridge aftermarket on Amazon, and don't even worry about wrecking a good cart.